Hey friend, welcome to the Halfway to Dead podcast. I'm your host, Jen Lovell. Listen, you and I have reached that age where we are done with the bullshit. We know that midlife is our chance to flip the script and experience life on our own terms. It's time to reconnect with our higher selves and reclaim our inner peace. Are you ready with an open heart and an open mind? Awesome, you're in the right place. Hop in and ride shotgun with me on this midlife spiritual journey. Hey, everybody. Guess what? It's just you and I today. I've got no guests. It's just you and Jen hitting the road on our spiritual journey. Okay, so I want to use this episode, to go over, I just want to address some questions and concerns or whatever I've received since launching the podcast. And I want to share with you what I think is the most important thing that you have to do during the beginning of your spiritual awakening, and just give you some details of some of the things I do that help. I know you've heard me talk about some stuff in the past, like in past episodes, but I really want to just let you know exactly some of the things I do. Okay, but first, I want to throw some stats at you, some podcast stats. Okay, so there's like 5 million podcasts out there. Of those, I guess like 3 million are actually active. All right, but listen. Of those, 47% do not ever make it past episode 3. Yep, you heard that right, episode 3. And so of those that are left after episode 3, there's only like 156,000 of millions that make it past episode 10. Episode 10. And so all this to say, guess what? If you're listening, this is episode 10. What? Hells yeah, bitches. I have made it to episode 10. And that is just me giving myself a pat on the back and a high five. Because if we can't do it for ourselves, no one's going to do it for us. Let's do it for ourselves. Okay. So I wanted to just throw that out there just because you and I are making this happen. I can't do this alone. I need you guys to do all the things. I need you to share the podcast, leave the 5-star reviews, because the way all these things work, in order for us to keep spreading our reach further and further, these algorithms, you guys, they're complicated, but basically it's all about downloads, subscribers, 5-star reviews, all of those things. Okay. So I need you guys. So if you haven't yet, I would love if you'd give a 5-star review. And just so you know, no one can leave a review until they've listened to like at least one episode, which makes sense because I want to earn my 5 stars, you guys. So at least listen to one episode. In fact, you're listening now. So hey, when this is over, you'll be all set. Give me the all 5 stars if you feel so inclined. If not, just move on. It's okay. I'm cool. All right. So I just want to share. If you don't have a podcast, you wouldn't know really how this works, but I'm able to see, I can't see who's listening. I don't know names. I don't know who you are, but I do know statistically where people are at and their age and their gender and stuff like that. So we are primarily reaching like 65% women. You guys are tuning in. Boys, I see you. You're there and I appreciate it. Also, the age group we're hitting is like all over the place, young to old, but like our core group is obviously us midlifers, right? It's like 35 to 40-year-olds to like 65 plus. Okay. And so many countries, you guys. It's so cool to see not just the United States, and I can see like what city and state people are listening from. So that's super fun. But also I get to see all of these other countries. So I have subscribers in like Germany, Asia, Africa, Australia. And it's so cool because the beautiful thing about podcasting, and one of the main reasons I chose to do this, was I knew my reach would go well beyond my own community. We're able to do some real good here, you guys. So stay with me and let's just keep the stats going up, and we're going to reach and help so many people together. I just know it. We're doing big things. Thank you. And I just figured out this. I just got notified that of all the podcasts on Apple, in the spirituality category, in the last couple of weeks, I have hit in the top 100 podcasts of spirituality. And I'm super freaking new. So that's just exciting stuff. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because I feel like this journey, we're on it together, right? We're on it together. So I just wanted to share those things with you and let you know how things are going over here in Halfway to Dead podcast world. Okay, you guys, the first question that I've gotten from a few different people is, where did I come up with the name of this podcast? Okay. Because people are like, what, like Halfway to Dead? It sounds morbid. Okay, guys, this has nothing to do with death. Okay, I didn't pick this. I am fully aware that I am probably much more than halfway to dead, right? Probably not living into my hundreds. But listen, we don't know if we're halfway to dead, almost dead, whatever. It doesn't matter because I didn't name this based on my age anyway. Okay. So one of my favorite people to listen to is Brené Brown. And so I'm going to read this quote to you from Brené. This was an interview that she had with Tim Ferriss. And I've had this saved in my phone for like a couple of years, I feel like. Over a year for sure. And I just listen to it sometimes. Over this whole journey, I just listen to it off and on because I love it. So I'm going to read it to you. And then maybe this will give you a better idea of where I'm coming from. Okay, so she says, this is when the universe comes down, puts her hands on your shoulders, pulls you close and whispers in your ear, I'm not fucking around. You're halfway to dead. Your armor is keeping you from the gifts I've given you. And that is not without penalty. Time is up. So this is what you see happen in midlife. It's not a crisis. It's a slow, brutal unraveling. This is where everything we thought protected us is keeping us from being the partners, parents, the professionals, the people we want to be. End quote. That was from the wonderful Brené Brown. Okay? That's where it came from, you guys. Good old Brené Brown. If you haven't looked up her stuff, I mean, where have you been, guys? Get on it. Google her right now. Okay. So here's another one that I keep getting. And that is, what is this symbol in my logo? Is it woo-woo-y? Did I make it up? Where'd it come from? Okay. It's called a unalome. The symbol is called a unalome. And it originated, I believe, in Buddhism. But I just want to go through and tell you guys what it represents. Because then when you look at it, it's going to all make sense. Okay. Let me walk you through it. So we're going to stop at the bottom. So the bottom starts with this little flower, which kind of, for me, symbols like a rebirth, like our birth, right? We're born. That's the little flower. And then there's these spirals, and the spirals stand for our emotions and everything that gets in the way of enlightenment. It represents kind of like the circular nature of our human mistakes, everything we're going through. I mean, we go around and around in a circle and just we're getting nowhere at the beginning, right? That's the spiral. Then above that spiral, it turns into these loops, and it loops kind of back and forth. And these loops represent the steps towards enlightenment. Okay, so it's when you realize and you recognize the journey that you need to take and you start moving forward towards your end goal. So you're in your spiritual journey, right? As you're going, the loops become tighter and shorter as you find life easier to navigate and like your understanding grows. The straight line represents that moment when you finally know you're on the right path. You're no longer in the spirals and the loops. You've been disentangled. And the road is now straight, right? Navigating is so much easier because you see clearly and you're a little bit more in harmony with your surroundings. Some people even say that part of the straight line is when your third eye finally opens and you're seeing the truth clearly. So that's the straight line. Now in my symbol, I added in kind of that top arrow symbol because for me, it kind of means this is the direction we're heading. We got to keep going in that direction. So that's why I put that little guy up there. And then there's 3 dots. So the 3 dots are it's our end goal. That's enlightenment. They sit at the end of the road, reminding us of our goal. And so they're separate from the line and everything else because enlightenment is totally separate from our life and our ego. It's after that. We're there. We know all the things. I don't think we even get to that point until we're on the other side. That's my personal belief. Okay. So that's why I use that symbol. And some people would say it's appropriating, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Listen, you guys, I plan on getting a tattoo with a version of this because even though I'm not I totally believe in Buddhism. I believe in a lot of different things. Okay. But I have the utmost respect for this symbol. I have a deep understanding of it because I'm in it. I feel myself and I see myself in it. So this is not appropriation. I have a deep understanding and love for it. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Here's one more. This isn't really a question. This is kind of a comment, whatever. But I'm going to tell you guys what I got. So somebody really wants to know why I seem to laugh and bring humor into everything when some of the subjects aren't funny. All right, I get it. Okay. But here's what I want to say about that. I've been using humor and sarcasm as a coping mechanism since childhood. It's literally a part of my survival mode. And I also believe that if you get the choice to laugh or cry, choose laughter. Come on, guys, choose laughter. And so if you can't handle this or it seems offensive to you that I bring humor and sarcasm into my interviews, I don't know what to tell you other than don't listen. Like, bye-bye. I don't have time for this, you guys. I am like the negativity. Nope. It's a nope for me. So I am who I am and I'm probably not changing anytime soon. So if you're not a fan, it's okay. Move on. You're going to find your podcast. I just know it. But maybe this isn't the right one. I don't know. That's that. That's all I have to say about that. All right. If you're loving it, stick with me. If you're not, it's okay. It's okay. Separate paths for us. Okay. So another thing, I wanted to just tell you guys about something on the website. I don't know if you guys have been to it, but it has a section for you guys to submit a topic or a guest suggestion. And I did it like this. So you can do it anonymously if you want to. If you want to put your name and email, cool. I love it. If you want to just throw your suggestion at me or your comment, go ahead, right? It's anonymous. You don't have to. Tell me who you are. And so when I was doing this, I want to tell you guys what I thought of when I was doing this. So if you're anywhere near my age, you'll know what I'm about to tell you. You'll know. You'll connect this. You'll know what I was thinking. So do you remember in high school, I think it was our freshman year, all of a sudden we got pulled from PE class. And listen, I loved being pulled from PE class anyway, especially around the time of the mile, running the mile. They timed us running the mile. It was like my worst nightmare. You guys, I'm not a huge fan of the running. Anyway. Okay. So you got pulled from PE to go to your sex ed class. All right. Because our PE teachers magically turned into like sex experts. Do you remember this? Because we went from dodgeball on Friday to sex ed on Monday. All right. And so do you remember we were all sitting in our little desks and they handed out blank pieces of paper and we took our little pen or pencil. We were supposed to write down any questions we had. Totally anonymous. Just write it down. We turned all those babies back in and then that poor PE teacher had to go through and answer them. I mean, I'm guessing this was not the favorite part of their job. Okay. Because some of the questions that came up were they were something, you guys. I mean, I remember questions about like, can I get pregnant from a BJ? I'm not going to go too deep into that because yeah, we won't do that today. But my point is just like the old PE teacher, you guys can send me your comments and your questions and maybe you have a subject that you want to hear about or you know of a guest that would be awesome for the show. Send them to me. Send them through. But please do not inundate me with all your friends that are selling their supplements. Okay? Please. I'm looking for people who really want to share their story and have some really good ideas and things that we can put into practice in our lives day to day. Could that include a supplement? Maybe, but there's got to be a lot more to it than that. Okay, but send them through. I love seeing it all. All right, so I wanted to tell you guys about that. I also wanted to tell you when you go to listen to my podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, or any other app, they added this new little thing. It's a button that says, text Jen and let her know what you think about this episode. So when you click it, you're just going to type it in quick form like a text. Okay? Just like you would text any other friend. It doesn't need to be long and extensive. It can just be a short little blurb about how you felt about the episode. Or whatever you want to tell me. You can do that there too. Okay, keep in mind, this is not This is an app that I have, so I can quickly just go through and look at everybody's thoughts and all that good stuff. Because, there's not really comments per se. So you can send this straight through to me. Do not sit and wait to get a text back on your phone from me. I don't want to confuse people. They're calling it texting, but that's basically because it's just as simple as a text. Click, type, send. That quick. All right. No information needed for that either. So I wanted to tell you about that new fun little feature in the podcast world too. Okay. So now I want to get to what I really wanted to get to in this episode. Okay. I want to get into what I think the most important thing you need to do is during the beginning of your spiritual journey. Okay. This is my opinion only, but I think it's the most important thing you need to do whether you're on a spiritual journey or not. Okay. These are just some good things, some good takeaways I've had. And these are things I personally do. All right. So I'm just going to break it down for you. Okay. So what is it? What do you think is the most important thing? Well, let me tell you. Protect your energy. I'm going to say it again. Protect your fucking energy. It's so important, you guys, because listen, we're all dealing with some shit when we're in these journeys. Also just in life, okay? We're dealing with the shit. And so, we're in those twists and turns. We're digging stuff up. We're going through some stuff. This is not the time to take on everybody else's stuff. It's just not. You got to disconnect from some other things so that you have the energy to put into this. In the end, it's all going to be worth it. All going to be worth it. So protect your energy. And I'm going to give you some ideas of what I do and what I mean by that. So the first thing I do is I start and end my day in meditation or prayer. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be scripted. You just got to do it. So in the morning, let me tell you exactly what I do in the morning. I've talked about this in some other episodes, but let me just walk you through it because I feel like when I started out, I had to be guided through everything. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's how I started. So I'm just going to tell you what I do, guys. Do it or don't. And you can modify this to whatever feels good. But here's what I do. I'll start in the morning. This happens before you open your eyeballs, before anybody in the world knows you exist. Do it then. So here's what I do. I start with my lowest chakra. All right, we're going to start at the bottom. And if you need a reminder about the chakras, go back and listen to episode 3 and 4 and refresh on all the chakras. But here's what I do. We start at the bottom root chakra. So it's red. And each chakra, I just visualize this spinning, swirling, beautiful circle of light and energy. So the bottom's red. So I'm going to visualize, obviously, red, circle, light, energy. And this one's really important to start with because you've got to ground yourself. So I imagine this red light spinning, and then it goes down my legs and out my feet. And it branches out almost like branches or veins or something, all the way down to the earth, all the way down to Mother Earth, right in the middle. That's where I picture her. So then I'm grounded. And I may say something with it. So with each chakra, I'll say a little mantra or a word. So with this one, I might say, I'm grounded. I mean, just simple. I'll just say, I am grounded. And then I'll go to the next one. And I'll watch that color swirling around. And so the next one's orange. So then I'll just say whatever comes to me. So that's the sacral. And I work on the sacral a lot because I've had a little damage there. So here's what I do. It'll be swirling. I'll see the orange and I'll say whatever comes to mind. And it's different every day. So some days maybe I'll say, I am healed. Or I may say, I'm safe. Whatever comes up for me that day, that's what I'll say. So don't overthink it. Okay? Whatever you say is right. Then I'll go up to the yellow. So I'll do the yellow swirl and I'll say something like, I am connected or I am strong, whatever comes to mind again. Then I'll head up to my heart. And I'll watch that green swirl light up and I might say something like, I am able to accept love and give love openly. Or something like that. It usually has to do with the heart or love. It doesn't really even matter. You guys say whatever you want. Then I go up to my throat chakra. And when I get there, I see this swirling color again. And I say, maybe for my throat, I'll say, I can speak my truth. Or maybe I'll say, I can hear criticism, because that's part of the heart chakra or part of the throat chakra too. Being able to give and take criticism. So I'll say something like that. Then I'll head up to my third eye and I'll imagine a little eye opening between my brows with the light swirling. And maybe I'll just say, I am open. And then I'll go up to my crown and I'll visualize my crown at the top of my head opening like an aperture on a camera. You know, when it like clicks open and shut, I imagine it opening and just all of these beams of light coming out of it all the way up to my higher self, like 2 feet above my head. And I'll say something like, I'm open, or I'm ready, or show me, or whatever comes to mind. Again, don't overthink it. It can be any freaking thing that comes to your mind. Okay. So that's it. It's just that simple. Just the chakras, just to open all of my energy up for the day. And then this is the most important part. After you've done that, I set a container. What does that mean? What kind of container am I setting? Okay. So this is how I set the container. I visualize this beautiful gold spinning orb. Okay. It encompasses my whole body. I'm sitting in the middle of it. It's spinning. It's golden. And I'll say something really simple, something like, the only thing allowed inside this space are things with the highest energy, my energy or higher. And the only things or people that are for my best, highest good and the highest good of the world as a collective. That's it. That's the only thing allowed in my space. Sometimes I'll even be specific and say something like, please only allow in my ancestors, spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, whatever. Okay. You can be specific. They're all allowed in, but I don't want anything negative in. And so I set the intention for the day and I let everybody know, this is it. This is all I want in my space. This is all I can handle today. That's it. And then you get on with your day. You get up, you go to the bathroom, you get your day started. Okay. That's how I start my day. And it's really important to protect your energy this way. Okay. Then at the end of the day, I got to tell you guys about the end of the day. So at the end of the day, I usually go into prayer, give gratitude, say thank you, blah, 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 whatever you need to talk about it. And then I ask for protection again while I sleep. Okay, because what I do is I visualize all those pretty lights from the chakras that we got going. I dim them down, let them take a little rest for the night, rest, healing, all the things that happen during our sleep. And then I ask either a friend or a relative that's passed away on the other side. You can choose whoever you want, or you can choose your angels, your guides, whoever you feel like you connect with. And here's what I do. So I ask my dad, who has passed away, and I ask Archangel Raphael, because I feel close to him, to please watch over me in my sleep and only allow, because basically they're my gatekeepers while I sleep. And I tell them, listen, only allow in to my subconscious, into my dreams during my sleep, only allow what's for the highest good for me, the things I need to know, or things that can maybe only get through in that dream subconscious state. I leave it up to them. I say, listen, guys, I'm shutting down. I'm going to sleep and I'm counting on you guys to just watch over me while I sleep. Watch over me, keep me healthy, allow my body to heal and restore, and don't allow any crazy in. Okay. That's what I do. I imagine that, I visualize it, and then you go to sleep. But let me say this, and this needs to be the last thing you do pretty much before you go to sleep, right? And so before that, okay, another thing I do that's not quite as woo-woo is I always try and end my day on a high note, like with laughter. Okay. We talked about how this is a coping mechanism for me, but listen, I think everybody needs laughter. So what I do at the end of the day, and I have 2 shows in particular that I go to because I know no matter what, I will laugh. I will smile at the very minimum. And it doesn't matter what went on that day, I will end it this way. So what I'll do is I'll throw on, so for me, it's Modern Family or Schitt's Creek. You may have your own shows, whatever that is for you that makes you happy. Okay, so it's got to be something upbeat though. Don't end your night on like Criminal Minds. Okay, so I'll throw on Modern Family. I've been through all the seasons. I don't know how many times, but I still freaking laugh every episode. So I will play that. And then when the TV goes off, all right, then you hop That's when you hop in, you do your prayer, you ask for protection, you do your meditation, you do all of that right before you go to sleep. Okay. But I do try and end on a good note before I head into that and then into sleep. So maybe you don't have a TV show. Maybe it's like some funny online videos you're into. Watch the funny videos, but do not doom scroll social media. Absolutely not. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It is not a good place to be at the end of the day, okay? Because you don't know what you're going to find when you scroll. It could put you in the worst mood ever. Don't do it. Funny videos, funny shows that you already know are funny, and then your meditation. Okay? And then the other thing I want to tell you, and this is going to seem like a broken record. I know, but you got to try and meditate every day. I know we've been drilling this in. Okay? But listen, it's so true. I want to give you guys a couple tips because when I started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know what to think, feel, do, see, none of it. So I'm going to give you a couple apps you can download on your phone or your computer to use. These apps, they're amazing. And 2 of the 3 are completely free. So here they are. The first one is called Insight Timer. I'm going to put all these links in the show notes. Okay. Insight Timer. So it has meditations, breath work, courses. All of it is free. You guys, now listen, you can pay, I think it's $60 a year. I think it's worth it because you get access to all of these different courses and classes that you can do at your own pace. And you can also, it allows you then to like download your meditations on your phone so you don't need any Wi-Fi or connectivity to use it later. So I believe that it's worth it. Okay. So if you have $60 to spend for the year, spend it. If you do not, you will get so much benefit just from the free app itself. Okay. So either way, you got to download it. You can type in the search bar anything you can imagine. You can type in healing, a specific kind of healing, a specific archangel. You can type in like anxiety, whatever pretty much you can think of. You can find a meditation for you. And I love the guided ones because they're going to talk you through what to think, feel, and do, which is, I had to do that. And I'm guessing a lot of you will too. Okay. The second app is called Frequency. Frequency is amazing because we have talked about how everything has its own frequency, right? Like how many hertz, megahertz, all this stuff. It's complicated. We're not going to get into that now here in this episode, but listen, download the app. Same thing. It's free. You can actually type anything into that one too, and it'll give you the frequency that's best for that. So if you're trying to heal something in your body, type it in there. If you want to try astral projection, put it in there. If you want to connect with your angels, type in angels. I'm telling you, it will find the right frequency for you. And sometimes it's nice, even at night, like you've finished your TV show, you have finished your prayer, your meditation. Okay, turn on one of these frequencies and head to sleep. Some of them are like 60 minutes long, so you just can turn it on and go to sleep. It'll stop when it's done. So I find that to be very helpful too. And then one more app that I use, and this one's a bit pricier, but I want to give you the option because it's really good. It's called Mind Valley. And it's one of the first apps I downloaded and paid for because there's tons and tons of gurus, little spiritual gurus that all have their courses and classes included on there, like included in the one-time yearly fee. And so you can work on them at your own pace. You can also hook up with other people taking that course. So you have a little group to chat with and talk about what you're experiencing. It has tons of meditations, breath work, just so many good things in that one too. So it is a little pricier. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I want to say maybe like $300-400 a year. Anyway, I don't know. I found it worth it. So if you can spend it. If you don't, that's okay. There's so much free stuff out there. So that's number 1. Start and end your day in meditation or prayer and use the apps. Meditate, meditate, meditate. You're going to love it. Once you get used to it, you're going to love it. So another big part we've been talking about with this whole spiritual journey is how to reframe and release some things. So you're not going to be able to do this at the beginning. I couldn't do this. When you're starting your journey, you just aren't ready yet to reframe and release. So first, you know what I had to do? As I was pulling things up, from the deep shadows, pulling things up. You have to do, sometimes you have to distract yourself. I had to distract my mind while I was working through some shit, because you can't think about this all day long. It's too much. It's too much. If you're an overthinker, in the biz, they call it ruminating on things, right? Like you just can't stop. You can't get it out of your head. And you're like, I need a break from this shit. Great. I dredged this up and now I can't get it out of my freaking head. So I'm going to tell you what I did. And I still do it off and on. Here's what I did. And I have a feeling like there's no spiritual guru's probably going to recommend this, but you know what? Worked for me. So I'm going to tell you one of two things. I play games on my phone or I binge a show. Let me just tell you about this. So here's the thing. When we play games on our phone, because I can't multitask. If my brain is in a game, especially the quicker, the better. I can't think of like 2, 3, 10 things at once. So if I'm thinking about that game, whatever was stuck in my head that I was overthinking is gone. Even if it's just temporarily gone, it's gone. It allows my brain, this doesn't make sense because you think, oh no, you're playing this crazy game. Your brain's not resting. No, my brain was resting. My brain was resting from the other shit I was thinking about. Okay? Survival mode, guys, survival mode. So let me just tell you, and this can turn on you quick. You can get real involved because here's what I did. Here's what I did for a while. I was playing this game. I think it was called Cooking Diary. I was running a restaurant. So I love the cooking games. Anyway, I got so into this damn game, you guys. I joined a guild, which is like a little group, a little team. I joined a team and we competed. All right. There were competitions with other teams in the game and it was like serious business. I joined. I don't know why, but I joined one of the top teams. Oh God, listen, I was playing that thing like it was my full-time job. I was kicking ass and taking names at that fucking restaurant. And you had responsibilities, like you had certain levels and competitions. And if you didn't meet the mark, you're out. They would kick your ass out. So it was serious in that phone game world. Okay. I didn't care. I was in it. I was in it to win it. We even had like any gamers out there know about this little app, Discord. We had our own group chat going outside of the game. So it was kind of nice because you have all these little friends that didn't know my name, my age, nothing, just my screen name. I didn't know theirs, but we could share little funny anecdotes about our life. Like, hey, I'm not going to be able to finish my levels until later tonight because like my kid has a birthday party. And then cool. Then they would post pictures of like the birthday cake. Anyway, all of a sudden you have these friends that you don't feel responsible for because you don't know them and they don't know you. They don't know where you live. They don't know your name. You can drop them on a dime. You can drop these friends on a dime if you need to. Okay. And it's kind of nice. So that's one of my suggestions. It sounds crazy. Like I said, like, I don't know how many people are going to suggest this to you, but here I am because it helped me. And you know what? If you need to get something out of your brain quick, you got to get your brain busy with something else. Okay. I don't care. You don't have to join a team. Like you can just play some Candy Crush. I don't know, whatever it is you're into and it's going to if it's getting you through the shit, you do it. I say you do it. Okay. Now at some point you start to come out the other side and you go, wow, this is a lot. Yep, I'm done. So then I quit the team. I'm out of that whole loop now, but it helped me when I was in it. And so I wanted you to know about it. Whatever, judge me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to give you one more tip. Okay, this one is really simple, you guys. And listen, I know I can't tell you to just get off social media. I'm not stupid. You're on social media. We're all on it. But at least make some adjustments to your things in social media. All right? If you need to, and you're in a really bad place with it all, your self-esteem is low, and you're in a dark spot, just delete the apps from your phone. Just delete them. Okay. You don't have to be dramatic and do some big, long sign-off post for the whole world. Hey, I'm done with Facebook. Okay. No, just delete them off your phone so you don't have access to them. And if you're not there yet, the addiction's strong, you guys, if you're not there yet, At the very least, eliminate some people from your feed. Okay? Who cares how many friends it show you have? Right? And the nice thing is that once you stop looking at some of these people's Facebook pages, they will drop out. The algorithms will stop showing you those people. And I'm not saying dramatically block everybody. You can just unfollow, or you can even go on and just mute them for 30 days. If you mute them for 30 days and you don't miss a darn thing, okay, it's time. It's time to unfollow that person. Like I said, you don't have to be big and dramatic about it. Just put the phone down. Delete the apps or delete some people. And you don't need to help, we don't have to post even and stir up negativity or drama by putting something like, I'm so sick of seeing all this stuff. I just want to let you guys know I'm getting away from this social media's bullshit. I'm going to be gone for a while. I hope you don't all miss me. No, okay. That's still not you releasing. Okay. Just release it. Do it for yourself and no one else. No one even has to know. Just release it. Okay? The final thing I want to recommend you do is get your butt outside. Get outside. Guys, we got to get back to nature. We've talked about grounding in other episodes, but it's super, super important. Okay, so go outside. Throw your shoes off. Walk around the grass, on the concrete, whatever you've got. Walk around outside. Get some fresh air. Get some sunlight on your skin. And just get moving around out there. Just moving around out in nature is really nurturing. Especially if you're working through some stuff and you're spending a lot of time alone. Go outside. Just go outside and do your alone time. Okay? Because it's so nice, you guys, to sit outside and start just being aware of your surroundings and showing just gratitude for everything God's given us. Because we have everything we need. If you break it all the way down, we have everything we need. Our bodies are perfectly made. We can heal ourselves. We can change our thoughts and change our world. We have everything we need. We've got food sources. We have enough water for the whole freaking lot of us, right? Even though somehow now we pay a fortune to get it in a plastic bottle. No, I'm not going down that road. But listen, get outside. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys get it. Okay. So these are I have a lot more tips and tricks, but you guys don't want to stay here with me all day. So I just wanted to let you guys know some of the things going on in the old podcast world here, some of the things that I've done in my journey that have helped, and tried to get a little bit more specific with you. And so I hope you found something in this episode that you can take, try, and do. That's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. I have tons and tons more guests coming every Wednesday. We're dropping every Wednesday with the interviews. And then a little spoiler alert, we have some bonus episodes going to start dropping on Mondays very soon. We're going to address a lot of cool health things and like biohacks and stuff specifically to get our bodies feeling better in this freaking middle age. Okay? There'll be short episodes. They're just going to be little guys, just fun, quick episodes that hopefully you can incorporate into your life if you feel so inclined. That's it. That's what I got. I'm going to see you guys next time because we're doing big things, you and I. We are doing big things and I can't do it without you. So stick with me and let's do it. Let's ride out this frickin' spiritual journey together. Thanks, guys. Listen, I know your time is valuable. And right now I'm feeling super grateful and totally humbled that you chose to hang out with me today. If this podcast resonates with you, could you do me a solid and hit that subscribe or follow button? That's going to help you out because you're never going to miss an episode. And it helps me out because you're never going to miss an episode. And if you have like 30 seconds more, could you leave a 5-star rating and maybe leave a kick-ass review? Thank you so much. And I can't wait to continue our journey on the next episode. Oh, and I can't forget the fine print. The legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. You get it. See you next time.